Hello everyone, my name is Naomi DeLesio and I'm the main author of SB732, which is the bill that will make the pallid bat California's state bat. Now the reason that we want to create a state bat is that when people see that our state is celebrating bats, which is an animal that most people might not think is an animal that should be celebrated, they might try to find out more information about bats, and that will make them want to protect bats. One really cool fact about bats is just one small little brown bat can catch up to 1,200 mosquito-sized insects in 1 hour. And these little brown bats can live in colonies of thousands of bats. So you can imagine what a big difference an entire colony of little brown bats can make to our evening life. They are also a very big help to agriculture. Bats save California farmers up to $1.3 billion per year in agricultural losses from insect pests. So they're like a natural free pest control. Another big problem in California today is bark beetles, and they eat the trees, they bore into it, and that kills the tree, and that can make more of a wildfire risk in California. But luckily, we have the bats, and what the bats do is they eat these bark beetles, and that creates healthier forests. Something really cool about bats is those tiny little brown bats that we mentioned earlier can live up to 34 years in the wild. So they aren't actually like flying rodents, which is what most people think they are, because 90% of mice die within 9 months in the wild. However, most bats have only 1 or 2 pups a year, and that means that when people disturb a roost and it kills bats, it can take a very long time for their population to recover. We have talked with bat experts from around the state, and they all agree that the pallid bat should be our state bat. And that's what SB732 will do. It will designate the pallid bat as California's state bat. Now, the pallid bat is a very diverse bat. It's as diverse as Californians. For instance, it can live in a wide range of habitats around the state, from deserts to the oak woodlands in the mountains and the redwood forests. As you can see in the map, all that gray area, that's where the pallid bat lives in California. Now, in those different places, pallid bats can eat in many different ways. In some places, they listen for their prey's steps and pick it up off the ground, and that's called gleaning. They usually do this when eating centipedes or even scorpions, and they're immune to the venom of the scorpions. They can also echolocate to catch prey in the air. Another thing they can do is drink nectar from cacti, and this helps pollinate because they have to thrust their whole head into the flower, and that gets them covered in pollen. And this shows that bats also have a very diverse cuisine, just like people in California. They also speak different languages. We're going to show a couple of calls from bats in different places around the state and around the country. As you can see and hear, the bat calls differ in different places, and these are all the same type of bat, the pallid bat. Now, designating the state bat as the pallid bat will create more excitement about bats and hopefully help us to pass some new legislation protecting them in the next session. Now, thank you, and I hope you've learned a lot about bats.